Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ASRA Cup Series presented by Harpoon Design as our journey begins at the LA Coliseum for the Clash. My name is Jacob Emery alongside Steven Tucker tonight. Steve, we are back racing. These guys are on the track. We're about ready to go here tonight.
Whew, man, I am so pumped up for this brand new season. A lot of brand new drivers, and man, oh man, we are going to get it going right now today for the Clash at the Coliseum. We just saw the real thing a couple days ago, but now we get to do it here for the ASRA on race day. Man, brand new look for race day and brand new look here for the Harpoon Design Cup Series. A lot of cool things going on, Emery, but right now we are getting down to qualifying. 5-minute session. The best of those laps for these drivers could get you on the pole. What can we see here today?
Yeah, we're already seeing it now. Brandon Bowie up top. Roger Pierce, Nick Lights, Tim Robin at 57. He's a new driver for Season 6. He's in the Chevy. Fast times on the board. Man, I'll tell you what, about this, Steve, this track, it's going to be a lot of fun, and that's what it's about. It's kind of just getting a feeling for this series, getting a feeling for this car, starting off early at the Coliseum, and I can't wait. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And talk about it a little bit, what this means for the drivers for next week.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. Today it's all about, it's fun, right? We talked about the pre-race. It's a fun race. It's an icebreaker in my mind, right? Let's just get the boys together, race, have a good time, have some fun. But it's also pretty important because this race right here, as we're seeing Brandon Bowie going around, this race right here will set the grid for next week's Daytona 250. So the winner of today's race not only will get the pole for Daytona, but they will also get a berth into the All-Star race later on in the season. So a lot going on here today. How you finish this race will be how you start in Daytona next Tuesday. So a lot of cool things going on, Emery. Something a little different, a little unique format. But right here, we're going to see a lot of people trying to drive their way into that feature race. Only 20 cars are going to get in there, and we have a 30-car field. So what can we see here tonight?
Yeah, one thing that's changed also on the off season, I'll say, that seemed like it took a long time to get to this point here at the Coliseum for the Clash, this race tonight. But I will say, the competition, man, the drivers that are coming through this season for Season 6 is amazing. We've got fantastic teams and a list of really, really good drivers, and I cannot wait to see what these guys can do on the track. I mean, last season, Brandon Six ran away with it, right? He went out there and did what he had to do to make it happen, and he's your Season 5 champion. But man, this season, I don't know who any of these drivers can go out there and win. It's amazing.
Oh yeah, the season this season, or the drivers this season, Emery, are absolutely stacked. In my opinion, we've never seen a roster this jam-packed and this good, right? I mean, literally out of the 43 cars we have in the field, now granted you won't see all 43 cars today in today's race. You'll see the majority of them next week at Daytona, but today, man, we have 25 cars that can legitimately win a race this season. It's very, very cool. And right now, Roger Pierce, he's one of those guys. Right now, P1 13.27. He has not gotten a win yet in this season. But man, runner-up last season in the championship. He is out for blood today for sure.
Yeah, one of those drivers that's going to put in a lot of time to try to make that happen. He kind of fell short from where he wanted to finish. I think last season, I think season 6 is going to be different for him. You're going to see him up there in the top 5, top 10 for sure. But he's got a lot of work cut out for him to stay up there because of the talent. And just going down the list of drivers, you know, you talk about that. There's a big list of teams as well. Guys like Flagship Motorsport drivers, Ghost Motorsports, Murphy Esports, Bowie Esports, all these teams. Man, I cannot wait. And Steve, I think qualifying has just finished, and we're going to go into heat number 1.
Yes, sir. So this race is broken up by 4 heat races. So right there in qualifying, you saw Roger Pierce and Ryan Dunkelberger get P1 and P2. So they will automatically advance themselves into the feature race. They'll start the feature race on that front row. So congrats to those boys right there. And right now, to your point, this is heat 1. So everybody else who qualified right there, they will be split up into 4 heats. This is heat number 1. This will determine some more entries into the feature. So the top 4 out of all of these heats will advance into that feature. So right here, Emery, you got to finish in that top 4 in 15 laps. And heat number 1, let's get to it.
Yeah, this is the fun thing about the Clash. There's only 8 drivers out there right now, so this is not the typical field you'll see during a normal race, and you'll get to see these drivers really go out there and battle it out. They're going to go door to door, and if there's any grudges going over from last season to this one, you might see it here as we're looking at them. Donnie Honeycutt, John Hagan in the 64, he's a new driver this season. Jamie Graham, he's back. DJ Honeycutt. And Frankie, Tyler Honeycutt, I cannot wait to see what these drivers got for the 16 laps. It's going to go quick, Steve.
Yes, sir. Right now we're going through the field. DJ Honeycutt looking good right here. Frankie Barroso going to be on right here soon. Tyler Honeycutt looking good at the number 20 machine. Awesome ride right there. Marshall Harris, new colors. And then Hugo Curiel, another new driver, looking really, really good today. There's Frankie Barroso starting in P5 in this first heat. A lot of new cars, Emery. New Ford, new Toyota bodies. Looking very, very good today.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Brantley over at Harpoon Design, he's had his work cut out for him with this new design of the cars and have to make all these new paint schemes for these drivers. I think there's been a lot of excitement for the ASRA Cup Series, and you're going to see it unfold, man. You're going to see a lot of talent, like I've been talking about, and I'm going to talk about that all season long because this is the best field we've had since day one, and that's what makes it great. Pace car is around a couple more times, might be jumping off here real quick here shortly. We're going to go green for the first time for season 6.
Yes, sir. Heat race number 1. This is going to be a lot of fun. These guys, 8 drivers trying to vie for that top 4 spot. So 4, keep in mind, if you don't make it into the heats or if you don't make it into the feature right here, you do get to go into the consolation race at the end of the night, right before the feature. So we will see what these drivers have to do. Pace car coming in.
Pace car is off. Donnie and John Hagan in that 64 is going to take us in the turns 1 and 2. And we got a green flag here at the LA Coliseum for the ASRA Cup Series Season 6.
Frankie already around right there.
Even though this track is small, you can make some mistakes, and you don't want to get ran over from the back. That's when you're going to get loose and going to get pushed like that. It happens all the time. Early on in practice, the track tip was a little high. I think it's slowed down a little bit, and I don't think it's as slick. But now we have some more trouble in the back, Steve. We got a car turned again, still green, here at the LA Coliseum.
Yes, sir. Locking up, and only 8 cars on the track, but every little inch can matter. Frankie Barroso not looking too hot right now in 8th place. Tyler Honeycutt right there as well. Not the run they needed. They're probably going to have to wait to that consolation race to get into the feature. We will see, though. Right now, John Hagen looking very good. Brand new driver to the circuit and extremely fast. So watch out for him this season. Looking very, very good in that flaming hot Mountain Dew machine. Right here, though, this is the battle for that transfer spot. Marshall Harris, Donnie Honeycutt, Jamie Graham.
Marshall Harris has been putting in some time this week to try to make it to that transfer spot so that he can get to Daytona and have a good starting position. But hey, right now he's kind of falling back. He's in that middle of the pack. He's in 5th right now as it stands in that Toyota. As we got cars everywhere. One car in the back getting into the wall. He saves it. We're still green. 8 to go.
Marshall Harris right there. Oh no, Donnie Honeycutt gets around right here as well. Puts the brakes on it. Again,
now,
cautions.
This might bring out a caution here, Steve. He's got to make it to get around. Does turn the car, and he's back racing. Woo. Man, that was close. That's the thing about this track, though, Steve. Right now, the cautions are kind of, I wouldn't say lackadaisical, but they're not going to be thrown every single time. So if you're blocking the track, you absolutely maybe have 2 or 3 cars involved. The caution's going to come out. But if you spin by yourself, you can get that car back around. We're going to stay green. And that makes it a little different. That makes it interesting.
Yeah, race control is live right now, so they are watching the race, and they're going to throw yellows if they're blocking the racing surface and track. It's not always easy. We're not going to throw a yellow for every single spin, but sometimes it is definitely hard up in the booth right there, so nice job by them. This is only 8 cars, and right now Hugo Curiel is in that 4th spot, so he's into the main show. If he can hold on to it, Marshall Harris way far back, so looking pretty good. But man, John Hagen, he is out on he's just setting sail right now. 1.87 seconds in the lead.
Yeah, that top 4. So Hugo in that Toyota 74, Jamie Graham, DJ Honeycutt, John Hagen, they're all kind of run away with this. Marshall Harris, he's back about 10 seconds from the leader. He's only got 2 to go as this is about to wrap up. This is our first heat at the Clash. Been good racing. I think John Hagen in that 64 is going to get the win. White flag's out, Steve.
Yes, sir. Here he is. Short lap. Only about 15 seconds. Here it comes. Checkered flag is out. And John Hagen will be your heat number 1 winner, followed by DJ Honeycutt. Jamie Graham and Hugo Curiel, they make the show from the first heat. Excellent job for them. So we will see them in a little bit after these heats. They can sit back, relax, go and grab a drink. Awesome job for them. Good show so far, Emery.
Yeah, it's been great. It is. It's a lot of fun, and guess what? We got another heat right now. 16 more laps to go. This is heat number 2. Brandon Bowie is going to start up front in that 23. We got Devin in the 26, that Ford. Joseph Mealy in the Ford as well. He's going to start 3rd. Heaton Sailors and the number 19. He's starting 4th.
Yes, sir. Awesome runs right here. This is a strong heat, man. I'll tell you what. Joseph Mealy right here. Keaton Salyers, Matthew Fleming as well, starting P5. Jonathan Smith running P6. Scott Casoren going to be on track in just a second. And then Dwayne Honeycutt. Again, a couple of new drivers here. Dwayne Honeycutt. We've got 3 other Honeycutts in the field today, so we'll try not to get discombobulated, but we'll be good to go. But Brandon Bowie going to start this field off. Season 3 champion, keep in mind, has come back for this season, looking pretty deadly right there in that gold machine. So looking very, very good. But don't count out these Murphy Esport drivers. Devin Smerker, very, very strong. Joseph Mealy, big storyline this season. Emery, Joseph Mealy, Nick Lights have moved over from Flagship to Murphy Esport. So we'll see how that plays out furthermore in this season.
Yeah, that's huge. A lot of brains working together in that team. Watch out for all those drivers, as especially Devin trying to come back this season, trying to get that win. But hey, Brandon Bowie, we just talked about him in that Toyota, the number 23. I guarantee you he will be in the top 5. He has put a lot of time already into this season, and he said, hey, I'm full-time this year. I'm going to come out here and try to get this win, and he's one of those drivers that is capable of doing it. He's in that gold, that new Bowie Esports car. Love to see it. 15 laps here, 16 total. We're going to go green. Pace car still on. Let's see what we can see here today. Base cars off. We're going to go back green. Brandon Bowie on the inside going to take us into turns 1 and 2. Devin's on the outside there, trying to get past him. Can he make it happen? Steve, I'll tell you, the inside lane's where you want to be at the Clash. Seems like it has the best way around. It's hard to pass on that outside. You can get some trouble.
It definitely is. Right now, you're going to try and see Devin Smirker make a move around the outside. He wants to stay right there, but right now can't get it. Brandon Bowie too strong right there. Looking very, very good.
You can see Brandon, he stays on that inside. He's clear up top, but he doesn't want to give that away. And there he kind of does it. But, man, number 7 up here, the car going back into the pits, got a little bit loose. And that's Scott in that Chevy. He's going to call it, it looks like. He is done on this heat number 2.
Yeah, it doesn't look very comfortable in that car, unfortunately. Maybe just said to, pull in and try again in the Consolation. But here we go. Big battle right here. Dwayne Honeycutt, Keaton Sawyers. A couple of new guys this season looking pretty good. Watch out for them as we get this season going, for sure.
Yeah. Apologize to Keaton. I kind of messed up his last name, but I'm learning. I'll get that right. I apologize. He's in that number 19, that Toyota, sitting 6th right now, as Brandon and Devin are battling up front. Watch out for Joseph Mealy, though, in that 6. He's in the Ford. If those guys keep going door to door, he's going to make up a lot of ground. Can he get a win?
Woo!
Brandon locks him up front.
Devin Smirker, man, he is right there on the tail end. Let's ride on board real quick. Trying to give him a little love tap right there. Can't quite get to him yet. Brandon Bowie is very good at these short tracks. But Devin Smirker, don't count him out.
Yeah, Devin's doing a good job, too. You got to stay right on that tail because the window, the opportunity of passing, that window's small. So if you make a mistake, you need to be right there to make that move. Brandon just hasn't made that mistake yet. He's still up front. 2 of these drivers way up front. Now we got a lap car situation here. Now, we're seeing it now with only, 8 drivers? Wait till that main event. I think you'll see a big-time deal going on with some caution, with some lap cars.
Yes, sir.
Having some issues there. Oh, Brandon gets loose. Devin's going to take advantage of that. Can he get past on the outside?
Looking pretty good. Smirker is right there. Can he get to him?
They're door to door now. 4 to go. 3 when they cross. Can Devin get past Bowie? This is a battle we'll see all season long, Steve. This is foreshadowing, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
You know you'll see this.
Good looking rides right here. Keep in mind, Joseph Mealy in that good spot right there in P3. That's all you need to get into that feature. Then Matthew Fleming in P4, that Flum Dogs 88 looking very good. Jonathan Smith, man, love that Harpoon design team. Paint right there. White flag is out though. And Brandon Bowie, he's going to come around here into that turn 3 and 4 and win heat number 2.
Brandon Bowie crosses. He's your winner. Devin in the 26. He's 2nd. Joseph Mealy takes 3rd. And Matthew Fleming gets right there. He's in 4th. Those guys will advance. That's heat number 2. A little bit cleaner. That was fun to watch, Steve.
Yes, sir. Awesome job right there. A couple of drivers still need to get themselves into the feature by that Consolation race. And we will see that after heat number 4. But right now, again, Emery, we're not wasting any time right now. Heat number 3 getting lined up. Being led by Nick Lights right here.
These races are going by quick. Nick Lights in that Ford. He's starting up front. Jackson Anderson, that's going to be a battle. He's in the number 83, that Chevy. 2 drivers up front to watch out for. But, man, Brandon 6 is in the field. He's in 5th. Daryl Young Jr. in the 71. He's in 6th. Steve in the 13, new driver. He's in the Toyota. He's starting in the back, but watch out for him. This is going to be a fun little heat, Steve.
Yes, sir. A lot going on right here. Brandon 6, again, your season 5 champion. Watch out for him. Finally got that championship last year after a grueling, hard-fought battle. Probably should have won 3 and 4 seasons, but you know what? Came back and pulled it off. Looking very good. Daryl Young, new colors today in that purple and black Harpoon design machine. Looking very, very good. And Stephen Hayes, man, Dr. Pepper. Whew, I could go for one of those right now. Looking very, very fast. Awesome job.
I love some Dr. Pepper. I think that's my favorite soda. That and maybe Mountain Dew. I don't know. Some days I like Pepsi, Diet Pepsi, who knows? Dr. Pepper's the best, though.
It is, absolutely. Right now, though, Nick Lights, the other half of the drivers we were talking about earlier, between Joseph Mealy and Nick Lights moving over to Murphy Esports. Right now, that really good-looking number 2, Digital Downforce. So we'll see what he can do here. Heat number 3, 15 laps.
Base car is off, and we are green. Nick Lights is going to take us into turns 1 and 2. He's got Jackson right there as well. That's Chevy. Locks them up early, but they get by. We are clean. I was going to talk about Brandon Six as he gets a little bump there in the back. I know Brandon Six is very fast, and he's a good driver, but man, can he make up some time quick to get to the front? He's already up, I think, 2 spots.
Yeah, these short tracks are a whole different beast right now. A lot of it comes down to that qualifying. If you qualify well for these things, you tend to do pretty well. And right now we're seeing Nick Lights taking it strong right now. 1 second lead. Jackson Anderson, though, looking very great right now. One of our younger talents here in the ASRA, and right now looking very good in the number 83. Also for him, new changes for Jackson Anderson, has moved over to flagship racing. So a great job there for him.
Yeah, Jackson Anderson, I think you'll see some really good races out of him this year. He's come a long ways, and he's putting in the time too, so it's going to be fun to watch him as he's in second. Right now he's in a transfer spot, but man, Nick Lights, he is super fast here at the Clash. He's in second. He's keeping his second, going all the way up. He's getting up to about 83 miles per hour, putting on those brakes and then getting back into it. But it's all about a rhythm, Steve. If you get in that rhythm, you can be really quick, but it only takes a second to do something wrong, and as you saw it right there, looks like that was the number 13 got loose and sideways. 9 to go. Nick Light still up front.
Yeah, Stephen Hayes had a bit of an accident right there. Got spun around, kept it going though, so all good to go. And I'll tell you what, hey, this guy right here, Jacob Weiss, excuse me if I'm saying that wrong. I'm sure I'll get it right for next week. But man, this guy right here and all of his team, Apollo, I'll tell you what, these guys, watch out for them. They're brand new to the league, big team. So looking forward to seeing how they do this season. I've got high hopes for them, man. I've seen them in practice, especially for this race, and they look extremely dangerous. So I think we're going to be pleasantly surprised by them. Brandon Six has that inside lane, going to try and squeeze it in. Daryl Young gets loose right there in that purple machine.
Daryl Young got loose in the back. It's green still. He's got some time. He can make it up here. He's got to get by Julio. Brandon Six is there in the transfer spot in number 4. He's up 1 spot. Can he stay there? But man, it just takes a second to get loose and make a mistake, and that can kind of ruin your chance to automatically advance. He might be going to the Consolation, but we'll see what happens. Nick Lights, Jackson Anderson, though, up front. Those 2 drivers, they're making it work.
Absolutely. Big shout out to Julio Villalobos right here. Started a team by himself, a Bowie International. So we have him, Hugo Carriol, and then Martin Nava, who you won't see today, but you'll see in Daytona. A team basically all from Mexico. So really cool to see some international flavor in the ASRA, and going to be a good time to see them and see what they can do. So excited for that. But man, Nick Lights looking for 4-second lead right here. We know how good he is, and right now putting that on display.
Yeah, no issues for Nick Lights. He hasn't made one mistake, and it's proven to work out for him as he takes the white flag one more time around. He'll be your winner. Go back a little bit farther. We got Jackson Anderson still in second. Now Brandon Six is getting pushed by Jacob. He's in the transfer spot. Jackson Anderson's going to cross and get second. Brandon Six third. And Jacob in the number 60, he's in 4th.
There it is. So Nick Lights is your heat number 3 winner. Jackson Anderson, Brandon Six. Six tries to drift it in turns 1 and 2. Awesome job there. So this right here, our last heat. Heat number 4. A little smaller.
These heats are just kind of going by too quickly, Steve. This is too much fun here at the Clash.
Absolutely.
It's good to be back in the booth with you too, man. It was that break seemed like a long time, just trying to work everything out, get these new drivers in here, work on the production and stuff. And now we're back doing this, and man, exciting.
I'll tell you what, we're feeling pretty good too, but not as good right now as Tim Robb, who's starting in the front right here in that 57, looking very good. Again, another Apollo esports driver. I'll tell you what, these guys, just my early, probably too early season predictions. I think these guys are going to be really good, so we'll see how that goes for them. But Tim Robb are going to be starting off in that first spot. Christian Angel, another one of those Harpoon Design development team drivers, along with Austin Salyers, so looking very good right there. Blaze Crawford, a new driver in the stall for Flagship Motorsports. I'll tell you what, this guy is deadly, very, very quick. Watch out for him to definitely compete for wins this season. Josh Larson right here as well, looking extremely good. New paint scheme for him. They'll be rolling off P4. James Kaufman rolling off 5th place right there. And then Nick Simpson looking extremely good in that number 46 machine. Take a look at this. The electric blue number 46. Not sure what that's in referencing to, but you know what? We're going to go with it.
Love to see it.
Awesome job.
Josh Larson, the old-time vet, coming out here again for season 6, and man, that's another driver that I think is going to come out here and make some moves, and you'll see some top 5, top 10 ends, and probably a win out of Josh Larson. That's one of my drivers I'm circling this season to really do a good job, and I love to see that. So Josh Larson, cool to see him back.
Yes, sir. A lot of talent. Pace car though pulling off right here. We're going to see heat number 4 go green. And off we go.
Green flag is out. Little checkup up top early. Go. There's some trouble in the back. One car around, but we're still green up front here. Tim in the 57's up front in the Chevy.
Yes, sir. Larson got a little tangled up there with, I believe, James Kaufman. So unfortunate for him. This is 6 drivers in the seat, so only the top 4 again will go on. So 2 of these guys will have to wait for that Consolation. And man, Blaze Crawford all over the back end of that 57.
He might be that short track driver that just kind of says, hey, I'm going to be on the back here the whole time. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to give you a little bit of bump as he does. Man, almost turns Tim, but they keep it green. Good driving by Blaze to say, hey, I'm going to back off just a little bit. I don't want to turn out of the leader too soon here. 12 to go, 11 when they cross. Tim and Blaze up front battling.
Yes, sir. He's laying the bumper to him already. He's getting him real loose. I'll tell you what, man, oh man, I know this is just an exhibition style race, right? But it is still race number 1. Do you start that, do you get a little aggressive that early? Uh-oh, watch out though, if Tim can catch him.
Well, your new leader right now is Blaze in that number 12. He's up front. Tim is now in 2nd, and hey, if I'm on this track, this is one of the shortest tracks, if not the shortest track, right? So, hey, this is what it's all about. Blaze says, hey, I'm coming out here, and I'm going to show you what I got. He might just get a win here at heat number 4 at the Clash. He gets a little sideways. Tim Robb now's up front. The number 3, Christian, is in 3rd.
Tim Robb, I think, gave him a little help right there. Made him go around. This is the heat, though. This is the Coliseum. Oh, no! Gets around Austin Salyers and Nick Simpson right here. Big mess right here. Oh, my word.
That's going to change some stuff up now. Blaze is in a transfer spot. He's 3rd. James Kaufman, he's in 4th. He's up 1 spot. Josh Larson trying to track him down as we got more carnage here. This has been the most aggressive heat so far. This is fun to watch. Nobody's spun too bad yet. Caution's not out. It's still green. 5 to go. Can Tim stay up there and get this win?
Man, Blaze Crawford right there having a struggle right now in P5, actually P6 now that Nick Simpson got around him. This is not what he needs. Tim Robb, though, looking very good. Hey, sometimes you got to be aggressive on these short tracks, and Tim Robb is doing just that. Love that paint scheme, black and gold. Looking very strong, Apollo Motorsports.
Yeah, Christian Rowdy Angel, in fact, I think Rowdy's going to be his middle name. That's one of the cooler middle names you could have. Christian with Harpoon Design this season. Cool to see him out here. He's a good guy. He's a good character. It's a cool addition to the league, and also a good addition to Harpoon Design. Love to see him out here for season 6. White flag's out. Tim Robb, number 57. I think he's going to get the win here. Christian tracked him down. I think it's just too late. Run out of time. And that is it. Tim Robb, your winner. Christian Angel is in 2nd. James Kaufman 3rd. Josh Larson gets past Blaze, and he makes the transfer spot.
Nice recovery there for Josh Larson to get himself into that feature. Awesome job. Does not have to worry about that consolation race. And right here, we are in it. Man, that was... I'll tell you what, whenever I put together like an IKEA desk or something, you've got 4 screws, 3 of them going easily, 1 of them is a complete mess. And that was that heat right there. And hey, you love to see it. Really fun. But right now it's going to be the consolation race. This is 25 laps, folks. These are all the drivers who did not get themselves into the feature from the heats. So this is basically the best of the rest, more or less, at this point. And the top 2 will advance themselves into that feature race. So this is it. A lot of these guys going home. 2 of them advance to that feature race.
Yeah, big field, only 2. But this is, we got 14 drivers out on the track, 25 laps. And Daryl Young's in there. Frankie dropped down. Keaton, Steven, Donnie Honeycutt, all these guys. Blaze Crawford, we just watched him. He came out here aggressive, but got a little bit of payback and finds himself now in the consolation. Can he get transferred? Steve, we're going again. Pace cars on there. You want to go through the field real quick?
Yes, sir. Already going through the top 4 right now. Daryl Young starting P5. Blaze Crawford right now in that 6th spot. Frankie Barroso, we saw him in that first heat, wasn't able to get through. This is his chance right here. Dwayne Honeycutt, P7. Nick Simpson. Keaton Salyers actually goes by Austin Salyers, so there he is right there, looking pretty good. Stephen Hayes rolling off 11th. Donnie Honeycutt, P12. Then Scott Casorn, who I don't see on the track right now, would normally roll off 13th. So right here, this is going to be your consolation race, folks. The top 2 advance to the feature. The other 11 are going home.
And up front there, Marshall Harris in the 21 and Jonathan Smith in the 72. Toyota and Chevy, they're going to take us into turns 1 and 2. This is a bigger field, Steve. So now, if you got some issues up front, this might bring out the yellow. But right now, we are green flag. Marshall Harris in turns 1 and 2 keeps it to the inside. As we got a turn up front, and I think this is where the yellow flag will come out. As we got multiple cars behind getting checked up. We're going to re-rack them and start this again and see what can happen. Unfortunate there, Steve.
Yeah, Blaze Crawford gets around right there. Not sure if he had help, but man, oh man, that was definitely tough. We can actually go back right here and take a look if we can. Let's see if we can get a bit of an update real fast. Take a look.
Big shout out to Brandon Davis, our race control. He is the man behind all of the madness. He's pulling the yellow flags out and making sure all these drivers are in check. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. So right there, looks like he just got tapped from behind by Julio Villalobos. No harm, no foul. Didn't mean to do it, but obviously short track and 12 drivers at this point, so a lot can go on. So we'll see a lot more of this as we go. That feature race, Emery, is going to get pretty hairy. So
can't wait for that to happen. While we're under caution, you know, this track is really small, but the stadium is ginormous. It's what official capacity is 77,000. I'll have to go back and check my stats, but that just seems like a lot of people, and I think it's accurate.
It's massive. But here we go with this restart right here. We're going back green right now. Jonathan Smith leads us off.
Jonathan got a great start on the inside. He's going to pull away. That's where you want to be. And we got cars getting into it again. Does this stay green? Oh. Yellow is back out. This is different than the heats. Just more carnage and more cars on the track. So I think they need to kind of bring it back a little bit and try to keep it together. 20 laps to go still.
Hey, we expect this though, right? The Consolation is desperation mode. You have to advance. You have to finish in that top 2 to get into that feature. So right now, I expected to see just absolute chaos right now, right? The feature race, hey, it's 20 drivers, but you have 100 laps to figure it out. Right now, I mean, these are guys who are desperate to get themselves into that feature.
Yeah, you're gonna see it, especially on the track here at the LA Coliseum. So that's just what it's about. Hopefully they can kind of get it together. There's some drivers with some little frustration early, but hey, that's what it's all about. This is why we're doing this, and I think the competition is really setting at stage 2, Steve.
Oh, absolutely. 18 laps to go. Caution flags do count. So this will wrap up here pretty quick. After this, we'll have a quick 5-minute warm-up session for these guys who are in the feature race. That way they can, warm up and get, take a little break real quick and all that kind of stuff. We'll go over through our sponsors, our great sponsors. Man, we have so many sponsors this season that are really good. Hosky.io, Harpoon Design, KK Woodscapes, and oh man, so many good guys. It's pretty proud of that. Admin box as well. But we'll shout them out here in just a second. But right now, 17 laps to go, Emery. Pace car lights are off. The good thing about this is that caution laps are quick. It's a 2/10 of a mile track.
Yeah, that's a little different. It keeps the race going, I guess, and not slowing it down too much. But you're right. Pace car's already off, and Jonathan Smith is going to take us into turns 1 and 2 again. Tyler Honeycutt on the outside in that number 10. And look at this, Daryl Young. He's up front. He says, I want to battle. His car gets loose there, but we're still green. Seeing a lot of smoke in these corners. These guys are on the gas and slamming the brakes. They just can't lock them up too much because that's what can cause these guys to get loose and go sideways.
Yes, sir. You called it right. I mean, man, Daryl Young, he came into this race not really feeling too good about it. Oh, Austin Salyers in the back right there. Gets turned around, gets it back going, maybe. The leaders are coming right here. Can he get around? He backs up. Good job right there.
We got one more car on the inside too, but we're still green. You got to get it back on the track, or that leader's going right by you. Got to lap down. That will not be good. We got multiple cars.
Yeah, Dwayne Honeycutt around, Tyler Honeycutt around. There it is, Jonathan Smith. Woof.
Oh, big hit on the inside.
Starting to even out now. Single file. Yellow flag is out, though. We're seeing Nick Simpson. Oh, no, he was in P3. And unfortunately, that might be it for him. Car's looking pretty well beat up.
I wouldn't say this is a demolition derby, but I would say that there's a lot of cars that are maybe looking like that now. 10 to go. As these drivers are still trying to make this work. One driver that is now making it work is Blaze Crawford. He's in 3rd. He's in that Chevy, that number 12. He made his way up through the field. Stephen Hayes, he's up 7 spots. He's in that number 13, that Toyota. And another driver that's right there that needs to go quite a few. Donnie Honeycutt, he's up 6 spots.
Yeah, that caution I think was necessary because, man, Nick Simpson just turned around right in the middle of a lot of drivers. We'll see him right here. Oh, just came around. He's kind of in that zone. It's, oh, then Frankie, man, some net code. Oh, that's why. Woo! A lot happens, man, so quick. He just kind of stopped right there, kind of in that racing line on the front stretch. So good call right there. He just want to minimize, those things. These guys who are, spinning out on the inside walls don't necessarily need that yellow to come out because they can get out of the way, right? But, man, right here, 8 laps to go. Jonathan Smith, Daryl Young, who will advance to the feature race.
Well, the pace car's already off. Jonathan Smith up front again. Daryl get by him to take the lead. Turn 1 and 2. Looks like all the drivers are clear and we are clean. Back green flag racing. Slow car on the inside. They get by him. So now we're kind of single file up front. The problem with these cautions is these drivers up front, they can't get in that rhythm. As now you're seeing Smith getting in these corners a lot better. Blaze and Daryl trying to track him down. Daryl's one spot out of that transfer.
Stephen Hayes goes around right there, right in front of Frankie Barroso. Gets it back going, though, it looks like. Yes, he does. Oh, no! Blaze Crawford and Jonathan Smith, the leader. Goes around.
And that might be the bigger hit of the night. Going into turn 3 and 4. Watch this. Take another look at it.
Yeah, here we go. Race day replay right here. Up front. What happened? Does Blaze just send it? Oh, hits him on the exit of the corner. Daryl Young kind of finishes him off. And that'll be it.
Yeah, I think on that situation at the brakes may just need to be applied and let those guys go by and get back on the track. But
100% agree right there.
Yeah, it's going to bring out another caution here. That's the 4th of today in this Consolation race, I should say, excuse me. Only 2 drivers advance with 3 to go. Right now, it's sitting Daryl Young and Frankie Barroso.
I mean, man, before that race, that caution, I was just about to say, I mean, Daryl's looking pretty decent right there, but Frankie Barroso in that 48, I mean, we know how strong he is in this car, in this league, and he was at that point not going to make it into that feature. You know, that would have been like a Christopher Bell moment from what we saw over the weekend. But right now in that P2 spot, has to have a good restart on the outside. But right now, we'll see. I mean, does Villalobos, does Marshall Harris, I mean, do they send it into those guys to make it in? Again, only 2 drivers advance into that feature.
Yeah, Daryl Young and Frankie. Frankie was up 7 spots. Now Daryl Young is up 6 spots. So they both started in the middle, a little farther back in the pack. But watch out for Marshall Harris. He looked fast in Heat 1, I believe it was. Can he make the transfer spot? Julio in that 45, Steven, Hayes, Keaton in that 19, or excuse me, Keaton in that, 19. Can he get through there? We're green flagged again. Daryl Young's up front, got a big jump on the inside. Ooh. Little bang in the back, but we're still green.
White flag is going to be out right here. Daryl Young, Frankie Barroso. Big wreck right here, but no yellow will come out. Daryl Young will get to the line first unless Frankie sends him. Doesn't look like it. Daryl Young, Frankie Barroso move on to the feature race.
Yeah, good job for them. Frankie looked like he was going to send it into turns 3 and 4, but he kind of checked up and said, hey, let me finish second, let me advance, and he made it work. Daryl Young and Frankie Barroso, those 2 drivers are going on to the feature.
Man, oh man, it is now nighttime.
Yeah, just like that, the lights are on, the sun is gone. And guess what? The track temperature is probably a little bit lower. Might not be as loose and slick on the track as we've seen in the past, but hey, that makes for good racing.
Absolutely. Right now, these drivers are going to have 5 minutes to warm up. And I'll tell you what, let's take a couple minutes here and go and thank our sponsors. We'll come right back, folks. Stay tuned.
Fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Doggy bowl empty, Lakers pool sleeping, rug pull, cash grab, NFTs delight, rug pull, cash grab, idiot.
Hey guys, this is Kevin from KK Woodscapes. Wanted to say how excited we are to be a sponsor for the ASRA Cup Series this upcoming season. This is just some of the pieces we've created over the years. We can work with you and bring any special victory to life. To order, or if you have any questions, please scan the QR code for Instagram or contact me through the Discord. And hopefully, we'll be bringing your virtual victory into reality one day.
All right, race fans, we are back for the ASRA Clash at the Coliseum for the Harpoon Design Cup Series. And right now, we are back. It's nighttime. All 20 of our drivers for the feature race are here. They're warming up right now. Going to give them some time here to do that. But man, Emery, we saw a pretty hectic heats, and then we saw that consolation race, and that was pretty wild. But we got our 20 drivers in the field. And right now, who can win this race? Who can get onto the pole for Daytona? Awesome job so far, and honestly, this is a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's gone by pretty quick. We were talking about that consolation race. I think it was just desperate times, guys really fighting for that last position, 2 spots, and they were just giving it all. And that's the type of racing you'll probably see, especially on a track like this. But now, this has all changed. This is the main event. Got a lot of laps here at the LA Coliseum. It's nighttime. The track temp has come down a little bit. And I think we'll see some green flag racing.
Absolutely, yeah. Right now, we're going to see, I think, a lot of that. I think it's probably still, people trying to, feel the limits right here. That's why we're having that warm up. But yeah, man, this is going to be a lot of fun. Again, big thanks to KK Woodscapes, Hoskia.io, Harpoon Design, Admin Box, and Battle Beaver for all coming on board for the season. And right now, we're going to see a lot of this for this race, so good times, but we have 100 laps still to decide this thing, Emery.
Yeah, 100 laps here. If it stays green, it'll go by pretty quick. But I will have to say, we'll probably see a couple cautions with these guys kind of battle out to get to the front. If you're starting from the back, that's not where you want to be, because hey, it takes a lot of time to get to the front. If everything works your way, you can make it happen. We've seen that happen early on in these heats. But guys like Brandon Bowie, Brandon Six, Ryan Dunkelberger, those guys, Devin, they can start up front. That's where you want to stay.
Yes, sir. Hey, big thanks real quick to everyone who's watching right now. Appreciate you guys stopping by and taking a look at what race day right here and ASRA has to provide. So pretty cool night right here as we kick off the ASRA Harpoon Design Cup Series. Race number 1. Next week will be Daytona. So come back here next Tuesday for 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Going to be a lot of fun. But we appreciate all the subs, all the likes in the videos. Man, Emery, we are we're like 20 subs away from 500. So really pretty cool stuff right there. And we thank you guys for the support. So going to be a fun night. Still have this feature to go. And we're going to find out who's going to win this thing.
And right now, the warm-up is already done. We're advancing here. We're going to get some racing going. You were talking about it, Steve. Race day. It's got a little new look, little makeover.
Yes, sir.
New logo. Love to see that. Looking good. As these drivers are gridding. This is the feature. 100 laps here at the LA Coliseum. It's been a fantastic day. Cannot wait for this race to start. Roger Pierce is up front. He's going to be your pole setter. Ryan Dunkelberger, John Hagan, Brandon Bowie, Nick Lights, your top 5. Steve, you want to take us down the grid? You only have a couple laps, as these are short caution laps to do it.
Hey, you nailed it. That top 5 looking pretty good. Tim Robb going to be in P6. Looking very good right there. DJ Honeycutt, 7th place. Devin Smacker in 8th. Jackson Anderson rolling off P9. Christian Angel rounding off that top 10 right there. Jimmy Graham, P11. Joseph Mealy, 12th place. Brandon 6 rolling off 13th. James Kaufman rolling off 14th. Hugo Curiel going to be in 15th place. Matthew Fleming, 16th place. Jacob Wiest in 17th. Josh Larson, 18th. And then here they are, Frankie Barroso and Daryl Young. Going to be rolling off the track. Looks like Daryl Young actually not on track just yet, so might be starting from the pits right there. But either way, that's your field, folks. This right here will determine the top 20 starting grid for Daytona. Who can win this and also get themselves into the All-Star race at North Wilkesboro later on in the season? You get the automatic berth.
Fantastic. And I'll tell you what, I know this night is going well, and it's a lot of fun to watch these drivers do what they do. But next week at Daytona, that is where all the action will be, and that's truly the start of this season 6 and where it matters, and then points come into play, and that will be a lot of fun. Join us next week as well. We'll be here again, but right now, pace car is pulling off the track. We're going to go green flag race, and Roger Pierce, he will start on the inside. Ryan Dunkelberg on the outside at number 4. 2 Chevys up front.
Here we go, lap 1 already. Roger Pierce has a great jump right there. P2, Ryan Dunkelberger. So far, we are side by side. Very good looking group right here. Awesome jobs.
Yeah, they're doing a great job in the back, checking up, giving each other room. This is the type of racing you really see here, as we've got a little bit of carnage there, getting real tight door to door, but we're still green. Single file almost here in the front of the group. That's going to be the most consistent. Now we're seeing, oh, we got to turn up front.
Looks like it might be Hugo Curiel. Let's try and see if we can find him. Looks like he towed back to the pits right there. Smart move
We got
to get out of the
another
way.
driver
Ooh.
sideways. 3 of them involved. That will bring the caution out.
John
5
Hagen.
laps in. Dang.
Yeah, big wreck right there for John Hagen. We'll go back and take a look at that for sure. Looks like DJ Honeycutt might have crashed. That 15 machine right there in the middle of your screen. Oh, John already went around. Man, oh man. Go back a bit more and see if we can find it. It's loose for about a half a lap. And then just loses it, Emery.
Fortunate, they were looking pretty good. I think early on these drivers they look good on this track. And here's the thing: if it does stay green, I think it's going to take about 10 laps or so. If it stays green, that leader in the front will probably catch the driver in the back, and that will bring a new dynamic to this race if that does happen. Because hey, then you have to navigate through the back of the field to get past those drivers. See what they can make happen. Roger Pierce is still up front. Brandon Bowie now is in second. He's up 2 spots in that Toyota. Ryan Dunkelberger, he's in third. Nick Lights and Jackson Anderson in the 83. He's in fifth. He's up 4 spots early on at the Clash. Like to see him up there in that top 5. Can he make it happen today? Brandon's 6. Watch out for him. He's in 7th. And Devin in the 26. He's in 6. Green flag's out. Roger Pierce again. Turns 1 and 2. Brandon Bowie on the outside. Can he make the move to the inside? Get past Roger.
Looking great right here. Some checkups right there as well, but overall not too bad. Once they get single file, Emery, that's when it's going to really kind of calm down. There's no halftime here like the real thing, so it's 100 straight laps. They got to get through it.
12 laps when they cross. Now, we were talking about it earlier. A little bit of the braking situation, right? So these are fixed setups, but hey, you can still mess with the brake bias. And I think there's a lot of different drivers with different setups on what works best for them. We had some drivers almost, taking it way down, but the car might just get too loose, but also the driving style. Some of them trying to get into third gear. It just doesn't happen on this track. The majority, I would say 90% of these guys are just staying in second as we're looking at it now. Car spins here. Leaders get by him. Roger Pierce, Brandon Bowie, Nick Lights, your top 3 still. Ryan drops back to 4th. He's down a couple spots. Devin in that 26, he's 5th.
Jackson Anderson just spun out right there. He was in the top 5, I believe, so heartbreak moment for him. He's got to get it back up. It's lap 16, still a long way to go, though.
Long way to go. He's down 5 spots from where he started. He's in 14th. You're right. He's got to make up some ground. Also, Jackson, this is early on. This is a small, short track. But, just mistakes like that can cost you the race. But I think we'll see him back up in the top 10, top 5. Let's see what he can make happen. 17 laps in the books. 18 now when they cross. Brandon Bowie trying to make a move to the inside. He does. Looks like he's going to get past Roger Pierce.
Power move right there. Looks like Nick Light's going to try and carry with him. on the inside of Roger Pierce. It's going to be a 2-for-1 deal. Roger's got to get down here if he can find a way in front of Ryan Dunkelberger.
Brandon out front is dangerous. This is where he can get into a rhythm and really stay up there, up front. But here's the problem. He's already going to catch these lap cars. That's going to take him out of the rhythm. And now he's going to have to navigate to the inside, outside, where all these guys behind him, Nick Lights, Roger, Ryan Dunkelberger, they're all going to catch up with him.
That's right. Short track racing at its finest, folks. Back in the field, though, a lot of guys were here trying to clamber for this top 10. Again, where you finish is where you start for Daytona. And the top 10 starting spot for Daytona is a pretty good thing in that first 5 rows. Right here, Joseph Mealy, oh man. Jimmy Graham getting together with Roger Pierce. Roger Pierce has fallen off pretty big. I'm not sure if his car is just loose or what's going on. Maybe the brakes are too hot. Man, tough battle right here. Gets spun out.
Ooh, and big contact there.
Decided to tow himself. Oh man, heartbreak right there for him. Got the pole for this feature.
Yeah, got spun and then stayed right there. No caution was out. Got hit. I think that killed his car. Unfortunate for him. He is done for the day, I'd imagine. 25 laps in the books. Brandon Bowie still up front. Some of these other drivers, though, Jacob in that number 60, that Ford, he's up 7 spots. He's now worked his way up to the top 10. Pretty good outing in this main, this feature.
Oh no, Brandon Bowie goes around right here. Your leader. Not sure what happened there. Might have gotten help by Nick Lights. We'll find out.
Have to go back and take a look at that. Brandon Bowie, who was dominant early on, has now dropped 12+ spots.
Oh, got hit by lap traffic, James Kaufman. That's what did it. The lap traffic bounced off the wall a little bit, got into Brandon Bowie, and that caused yellow. He's right there in that racing zone, or that racing line, so unfortunate right there. Man, multiple leaders getting taken out here. The long race, Emery, lap 28.
Yeah, he's still got time to come back, and I guess I gotta apologize for jinxing him because I was talking about it, but I didn't think he'd actually get wrecked out by a lap car. That changes some things up front. Steve, Nick Lights, Ryan Dunkelberger, Brandon 6. Your top 3.
Yeah, it sure does.
29 laps in the books.
Man, definitely a lot going on.
Now, here's a better question for you, Steve. How many cars are we going to have left at the end of this race?
It's a great question because these guys have no fast repairs, right? So this is just a 1 car and that's it. So you can't fix your car. You can't really do much about it. I mean, you can pit and get some, fix it up, I guess, but you're going to lose all these laps. So really, what you have is what you have. There's no salvaging your your race if you have to pit. So unfortunately, it's just staying up front, not getting involved in wrecks. There's some luck in it for sure, but man, it's tough to short track racing.
Yeah, and on paper, you're at home watching this race. It looks like it's just a simple track, right? It's not very fast. You're at a certain speed, right? You're only in 2nd gear, but when you're in the car, it's much tighter, and you got to really watch out for what you're doing, the braking, all the turns and stuff. It's just tough, and that's what we're seeing right now. They're skilled drivers, but this is short track racing. 31 laps in the books. Pace car, I believe, is going to come off the track, and we're going to go back green. Been a lot of fun, Steve, though.
Oh, yeah, this is an awesome time right here. Nice icebreaker for the season, but pace car's off. We're going back green on lap 31.
Here's a battle that we saw last season a few times, and that's Brandon 6 and Nick Lights. They're 1 and 2. Brandon 6 protecting that inside lane. He's going to now be in 2nd, still ahead of Ryan.
Ooh, big wreck in turn 2 right here. Looks like Joseph Millie goes around right in the middle of the field. That'll definitely bring out a caution right there.
Oh, Brandon 6 almost said hello. Oh, and that car did say Oh, man. We got some more carnage in the back after the yellow.
Yeah, we're watching it right there. Man. See if we can find out what exactly happened. Joseph Mealy, that lime green and white. Oh, gets a bump. So Jacob Wiest right there in that number 60. Unfortunately, an accordion effect. Everyone bouncing off each other. Caused that spinaroonie, so not good right there. Has that front end damage for the All Things Go podcast machine. But this
Looks
is what
like
happens.
we've got, yeah, absolutely. We've got a couple cars that are lapped down, and we only have I believe 3 or 4 cars that are actually out. But we've still got a pretty good field. 36 laps now. We're almost halfway. If we stay green, this race will be, 25 to go in no time. We just need to calm it down a little bit and get this going.
Hey, this is the great thing though about short track racing in the Coliseum. It's a lot's going to go on, a lot of hard racing, right? You don't always get this at short tracks like this, and we expected an absolute gladiator style battle right here in a Coliseum. So Nick Lights, Brandon Six looking pretty good here in that first front row, and everyone else fighting to get to that front spot. So we will see how this ends up. Pace car lights are off.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I think some of these drivers in the back, Frankie Rosso, Brandon Bowie, I don't think they're in a too bad of a position, because if we have some crazy stuff happening in the front, they can get by and make up a ton of ground. But right now, Nick Lights and that number 2 is staying consistent up front. It looks really good late in this race.
Lock around here.
6 and that 66 still on the tail of that number 2.
He's getting there. Keep in mind, this season, Brandon Six is going to be part-time, so you're not going to see him all the time. You'll see him for 6 races the entire season. So right now, he's trying to get into this and win this clash. But Nick Lights, he knows how to get around these short tracks. Oh no, Dunkelberg gets around right here. Looks like a solo car spin. Has to wait for these guys to get around. This is not going to be fun for him to do that. Gets it going. Great job by him for that recovery.
Yeah, although he got loose and made a mistake there, he calmed it down and said, "Hey, all right, this is the time where I can get back on the track and keep going. No harm, no foul." He's dropped some spots, but we're still green here. 44 laps now in the books.
Taking right on board Brandon Bowie right now. He got spun around by lap traffic. He was in P1. He's got his teammate Frankie Barroso in front of him, not having a great race so far. But Brandon Bowie, can he get back to the front? Again, same thing with Roger Pierce. Pierce is still in the pits, unfortunately, so doesn't have that car able to win the race. But man, we will see. You can see the wheel emery is all over the place. Some loose conditions here.
Yeah, he's holding on to that thing, and then look at him. He's in second gear. That's what you want to do. You want to come off, get back on it, keep it smooth, kind of just getting that rhythm.
Yeah,
Got a little loose there.
can't say enough about this guy right here, Tim Robb, man. That 57, we saw him do really well in his heat, and then right here, P5 already. So he's the highest driver right now out of all the new drivers who are in this series. He's putting on a show for Apollo Motorsports, so looking very good for him, making his teammates proud and his team proud. So awesome job. If he can finish in that top 5 here, that's a great debut for you.
Yeah, one of the new drivers, new team as well. Love to see that. Tim Robb coming out here, making a statement, top 5. And he get the win. 50 laps now in the books. We're halfway, Steve, for the clash.
Yes, sir. Awesome job. This is going to be a great time real quick to hit up our race day nonstop. We'll go and thank our sponsors, but you will not miss 1 moment of racing. We'll come right back, folks.
Hey guys, this is Kevin from KK Woodscapes. Wanted to say how excited we are to be a sponsor for the ASRA Cup Series this upcoming season. This is just some of the pieces we've created over the years. We can work with you and bring any special victory to life. To order, or if you have any questions, please scan the QR code for Instagram or contact me through the Discord. And hopefully, we'll be bringing your virtual victory into reality one day.
Fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like doggy bowl empty, Lakers pool sleeping, rug pull, cash grab, NFTs delight, rug pull, cash grab, idiot.
All right, folks, welcome back from the race day nonstop. Right now, we've got a battle right here for P1, but man, James Kaufman goes around. Looks like him and Ryan Dunkelberger get together. Kaufman was a lap down, at least one lap, and then Dunkelberger the same, looks like. So this was for position, potentially, according to our scoring system. So right here, these guys got to get back around. It's not always the easiest thing to do on a short, skinny track.
No, it's not, and just like that, we went green for quite some time, and now we're at 60 laps in the books. So this race is coming to an end. Can the 25 get this car turned around?
And there we go, 61 laps in, like you said. Yeah, everyone's back facing the right way. We are good to go for now. I'll tell you what, that battle for first was heating up. 6 was right there on the back end of Nick Lights.
Yeah, all these drivers, the top 4 are solid drivers. We'll see these battles all season long. And Tim Robb, a new addition to the season in top 5. He's up 1 spot, but very consistent today. One driver we talked about earlier too, Jackson Anderson. He made a mistake. He fell back to about 14th, 13th, but now finds himself in 6th position. He's up 3 spots. Brandon Bowie, he's in 7th. Christian Angel, he's in 8th. Frankie Barroso and Josh Larson, your top 10. We haven't talked about Josh Larson that much, but he's still up 8 spots. Can he make a move? Running out of time as we now 63 laps in the books. And Matt Fleming, the 88, Steve. Longtime driver in the ASRA Cup Series. Love to see him.
Yes, sir, looking very, very strong right here. You can see it. Everyone getting back together right now. Going to go back green on lap 64, so a little over a quarter of the way to go here for this race. Who can come out with the W?
And pace car's off. Nick Lights in the 2, that Ford on the inside. Fantastic start for him. 66 in the back there, door to door with Devin. Devin's on the inside, does make it past Brandon 6. Can he get in 2nd spot? If he can get past Brandon 6, he can track down Nick Lights. Nick's just got to hold off this field now.
Brandon
all
Bowie.
These drivers are on the move.
Whew. Man, Brandon Bowie, as we were saying that, just sent it in to Tim Robb, but Tim Robb goes around here. Oh, they keep it going. The yellow's a little early, but hey, you know what? Sometimes you have to predict if a wreck is going to be pretty bad, and that would have been bad for sure if Tim would have continued that spin, but kept it straight, holds on to his position, so no harm, no foul. But man, that was really close for those two.
Yeah, Brandon sent it in, and just a little bit of checkup, and got in the back of Tim. But you said you're right. They kept it straight. Brandon Bowie, I think he jumped up at least 2 or 3 spots there on that restart. Now he's in the top 5. He's ahead of Tim Robb, Jackson Anderson, and Frankie Barroso.
Yeah, that right there helped Nick Lights for sure. I mean, these yellows, again, the yellow flag laps do count. So this right there is good for him. Obviously, it was bad for Brandon 6. The outside lane here especially is awful. You definitely want the inside lane when you can. And right here, Nick Lights will have the inside row. Now Brandon 6 will have the inside row. So it should be able to, or he should be able to eclipse Smirker there on the restart. But you never know. It's just, you know, if the outside lane can work, is the track, you know, gripped up? All kinds of scenarios here to play.
Yeah, and one thing we don't have this week is a choose car. Next week at Daytona, we'll have the choose car out here, and that will be on display.
Great
as
point.
The drivers will, yeah, the drivers can decide if they want to go the inside, outside lane. It is their choice. We'll talk about that a little bit more, but hey, we're going to go back green. Another good start by Nick Lights. Devin decides, hey, I'm going to stay on the outside. Brandon 6 going to maybe try to take it 3 wide as he's pulling the inside, but Nick Light clears.
Yeah, Nick had a moment there. Brandon 6 probably had it, but didn't want to force the issue. And you're so gets into the wall. Jamie Graham gets into him. 3 wide now.
Oh,
Brandon 6 going to go around
wide.
here. Keeps it going. Unbelievable job there for 6 to hold it straight.
Still green. There is the caution. That's by the start-finish line. Lots of madness there. Man, Brandon 6 got pushed around all over the place. He drops all the way back to 9th as he was sitting in 2nd or 3rd.
Man.
But his teammate, Brandon Bowie, now is in 3rd.
So James Kaufman, I believe, was the one who caused this caution. We'll take a look right here. Seeing Ryan Tuckenberger in front. Oh, Daryl Young was already around, so we'll go back and take a look at what happened there, because he's the one who seemingly caused caution here. What happened? Ooh, runs into him. Joseph Mealy. There he goes. Just goes around.
Ryan Dunkelberger, he was up there in the top 5 all day long. He's now in 13th, so he dropped a ton of spots.
And this is it, man. We're going to start to see it. 25 laps to go here at the line. And again, all these guys want to get that win, obviously, but they also want to get a good starting spot for Daytona. So, I mean, do you beat and bang? Do you want to win? Like what's your strategy here?
Well, I think right now, Nick Lights, Devin, and the 26, and Brandon Bowie, those 3 drivers, they're going to be really clean. And I think they're going to try to stay out of the madness, right? I think they're going to get in the rhythm. And I think you want to be up with that group. Tim Robb in 4th, I think he's in a perfect position to really stay up front. And at the end, try to make his move and try to win. That's where I would like to be. In the back, we only have 25 laps to go. I think you're running out of time for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, right now I think if you're in that maybe 4th row on back, I think you're kind of in desperation mode. Really got to get yourself into that front. Drive a little more, you know, drive a bit more aggressive and what you got to do. But right now we're going back green.
Brandon Bowie has to get a really good restart here. He's on the inside. He clears. Looks like he's going to be in 2nd if he can make it happen here. Devin still putting on that pressure. They are door to door. Doing a really good job, but does Brandon clear? He does. He is now in 2nd spot. Going to track down Nick Lights. Jamie Graham in that 62.
Oh, Frankie goes around. Frankie Broso, I believe, by a little bump by his teammate Brandon 6. You're not confirmed that.
This is going to stay. I think this is going to stay green. If he can get the track, he pulls off the track.
Great job there by Frankie, a veteran of this league.
Good old Frankie Barroso.
Looking good. Nick Lights has that lead. Oh, hold on now. Christian Angel goes around here off the track. Down low to the inside wall. We'll have to wait for that spacing to allow himself to get back on the track. We'll watch this just a second.
Man, 3 and 4 has kind of been the problem corner. A lot of drivers with some issues coming out of that turn. Crossing the start-finish line, and then, oh my gosh, he pulls out in front of the field, and that will bring out a caution.
Yeah, it's not what we wanted to see.
Not really sure what was going on. I just, it could be a situation where you don't have a spotter and you're not exactly sure where that field is, but you know, you have the relative to kind of give you some help there, but man, that could have been a lot worse than what it was.
Yeah, that was...
Christian's gonna park it. I think that would be...
It's hard to know, right, sometimes, but the spotters and, you know, it's just, to your point, right, the relative, your just overall awareness, and to pull out in front of the leaders right there, that's a tough gig.
That is tough. I would say here at this track, if you don't have 3 monitors, you really got a disadvantage, and that's kind of like a racing and iRacing term. Some of these drivers are on a single monitor, some are on a single curve monitor, and then others have 3.
True.
And on something like this, it's nice to have 3 of them.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, this track is so tight. But you bring up a good point. That's one of those things that a lot of guys don't consider, right? I mean, as far as awareness, 3 monitors or an ultra-wide screen here matters a lot versus one single monitor, because you don't have the left and right, visuals and peripherals that you would have with 3. So it's super tough to do that. And obviously, from a race control standpoint, it's hard to really throw a caution there because he's off the track. You know, you hope that he gets back on track and faces the right way, you know, and does the right thing. But unfortunately, he just does it in front of the leader. So some things can be unexpected. But Nick Light still retains the lead, has some right side front damage. It's not too bad, but it's definitely something to consider. So.
Yeah, on these short tracks, it takes a pretty big hit to get that car out of commission. And right now, I think Nick Lights is going to be fine. Brandon Bowie, he had a little bit of checkup damage, and I think he's going to be okay too. The top 5 drivers are going to battle it out. 14 to go. Lights are off the pace car. We're going to go back green racing, flag racing. Jackson Anderson, he's in 6th. Tim Robb, he's in 5th. Devin in that 26, been consistent all day long in that top 5. Can he make some spots up to get up to the front? Nick Lights in that number 2, that Ford, takes us into turns 1 and 2. They are side by side in the back. Nick Lights all alone up front. Oof. Interesting move there. Brandon Bowie just got shoved up to the wall, had really nowhere to go. And that car got loose. Brings out another caution, 8 for today. As we are gonna get within that 10 lap to go mark when we go back green flag. This is good for Nick Lights. He likes to see these cautions because he can stay up front every single time. He has control of that field on the restart. So he'll have that jump into turn 1 and 2. And it could be a situation with some net code where those cars kind of get stuck together, and you really can't do much from there, as it's hard to get that car off the other. Jamie Graham, he is now with Murphy Esports this season. That whole squad, you got Joseph Mealy, Devin, the 26, Jamie Graham, Nick Lights, all those guys. Those 4 drivers, man, watch out. That is going to be a team to beat, especially as well as the Bowie boys, as Nick Lights and Brandon Bowie are now 1 and 2. Brandon Bowie is going to start on the outside. 9 to go, green flag's out. Here at the LA Coliseum. ASRA Cup Series presented by Harpoon Design. It's been a fantastic day. Well, night now, as this race is coming to an end. Brandon Bowie, oh, yellow flag. These drivers, yeah, drivers just going for it, Steve. Absolutely. Nonetheless, 9 cautions at this track's been fun. It's still some good racing. And here's the other issue with a track like this and any short track is the repercussions for your car. I mean, you can get some wrecks and some cautions, and can bang that car and not have any issues where you have to park it. On a super speedway like we'll be at Daytona next week, that's a different story. You get into a wreck and your day can be completely done, on lap 2. So here you get into some cautions or wrecks, and it's not so demanding. So, something to be said as we're here at the LA Coliseum. Nick Lights, Brandon Bowie, Brandon 6, Jackson Anderson now is in 4th, and Matt Fleming. Matt Fleming is looking like he's in 6th, I believe, maybe 5th position. I think we're gonna go around a couple more times, Steve. I don't think they were in position for that restart. Not a bad call for Brandon. They were still trying to catch up to the leader. Now, will this be a green, white checkered flag, Steve? Pull off a pass on the outside. That would be something impressive, and it looks like he's on the gas, and he just needs to clear Nick Lights on the inside. We talked about this. It's hard to do at this track, but he's making it work. Brandon 6, can he take advantage of these 2 drivers up front, door to door? Oh, Nick Lights gets a little bit loose. Brandon Bowie now is in the lead. Good recover by the number 2 driver. Unbelievable to see Brandon Bowie able to hold off Nick Lights as he was in the right position, the inside, but Brandon, man, made that pass and did it clean. Nick Lights was doing everything he could to stay up front. Congratulations to him on the win here for the ASRA Cup Series. Absolutely. That gold car, Brandon Bowie, number 23. I don't think this will be the last time we'll see him up front, but that's a good-looking Bowie Esports paint scheme and car. Fantastic.
Fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Doggy bowl empty, Lakers pool sleeping, Rock pool cash. cash grab, NFTs delight. Rug pull, cash grab, idiot.
Hey guys, this is Kevin from KK Woodscapes. Wanted to say how excited we are to be a sponsor for the ASRA Cup Series this upcoming season. This is just some of the pieces we've created over the years. We can work with you and bring any special victory to life. To order, or if you have any questions, please scan the QR code for Instagram or contact me through the Discord. And hopefully, we'll be bringing your virtual victory into reality one day.
All right, folks, welcome back to the ASRA Clash here at the Coliseum. And right now, your winner, Brandon Bowie, is going to be joining us live here in the booth. Let's sneak him in down here.
Drive it.
Hey, there he is, Brandon Bowie, man. Awesome job today. Had to come back from just a spin out and a wreck and all kinds of stuff. And here you are in the winner's circle. So how do you feel, man? Great job.
Relieved, sir. Absolutely relieved. Yeah, I honestly, man, when I got, leading and getting spun, that deflates everything. Everything, literally. I thought I was done. The team kept telling me, hey, look, you got plenty of time to get back up there. And I could tell, like, okay, yeah, maybe, but, everything had to go right. And, with as strong as Murphy Esports was up there, I mean, they were basically commanding like the top 5, and like, man, it's gonna be hard to kind of get back through them to try and get back to the front. And the stars aligned, and me and Nick battled like hell this last 3-4 laps, which was awesome to race hard against him. He's always raced me clean, so I appreciate him, making it fair and fun at the same time. But yeah, it feels great to be back in Winner's Circle, especially under the ASRA banner. Feels like I haven't ran here full time in a while, and it feels good, man. It feels absolutely amazing.
Awesome job, dude. Congrats again. Hey, again, with this, you have the automatic berth into the All-Star race, although you had it anyway because of your prior champion. But now you also start on the pole for next week's Daytona 250. So pretty cool stuff right there, man. Go ahead and thank your sponsors, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, don't really have many sponsors. Still got Battle Beaver. Thanks, for them coming on board with the ASRA as well for the league. Boosted, Bowie Esports. That's pretty family. that's pretty much all I got. I am literally worn out this track. Definitely wore me out. I am done. I'm gonna go have me a couple drinks, and I'm gonna relax for the rest of the night.
Sounds good, dude. Awesome job. We'll catch you next week, man.
All right, later, guys.
Alrighty, let's bring in P2 Nick Lights.
Hey, Nick, you got a copy. It's Emery and Steve in the booth.
Hey, I got you guys.
Nick, man, you were dominant all day long. Brandon Bowie got by you there at the last minute. It was clean racing. It was a lot of fun to watch you out here doing your thing. But hey, you got to be happy with P2. You're starting next week, Daytona, second spot. You want to be up front. I like that. But also, Nick Lights, you're on Murphy Esports. What are your thoughts, man? That's cool to see you on a team here and full time this season.
Yeah, that one definitely stings there, finishing that close and leading all those laps. But that's part of it here. Yeah, I'm really happy with our showing with Murphy Esports, Digital Downforce, those guys coming on board for this race. We did a good job. Everybody on Murphy Esports did a great job tonight. Excited to continue the season with them and get some wins with them.
Absolutely. Well, again, it was a lot of fun to watch you out here. P2, you got to be happy. You want to thank some sponsors before you get out here?
Yeah, thank Digital Downforce for hopping on board tonight, and just everybody at Murphy Esports again. And thanks to you guys for putting this on. It was a great event. I'm sure you guys enjoyed it. It was hectic at times, but that's the Clash, and it's always fun. Had a blast out there tonight. So
For sure, for sure. Well, enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll see you next week at Daytona.
Yes, sir. Happy to be back. Love you, Steve.
Alrighty. All right, that's Nick Lights P2.
Alrighty. Next, we'll bring up your P3, which is, of course, Brandon 6, your Season 5 champion. Here he is. Man, Brandon, you had a good race today so far. Didn't really start probably as well as you wanted to, and had to go through the heats and whatnot, but wound up in P3, so you'll start in that in the second row for Daytona, so pretty good. Obviously, I do know you're part-time, so I'm not sure if you'll actually be at Daytona, but you can let us know here. But awesome job, dude. What do you think?
Definitely a good race. Yeah, like I said, I didn't do very well for qualifying and even during practice and through the heats, honestly. For whatever reason, I could not get off the corners during the daytime for whatever reason. But as soon as the sun set and turned to nighttime, I had tons of grip and I was able to actually kind of get the car rotated and pointed the way I wanted to and get up off the corner, which played into my hand there. And I feel like I had a shot there, but if I didn't, I was hoping to either help my teammate out or whoever. I was trying to give myself a shot there at the end by hopefully shoving Nick into the corner there, but he played it well and got me slowed up and kind of gave me a shot for Bowie to get around him there. But I was glad at least one of us got it there at the end. And unfortunately, I will not be at Daytona as well. I plan to run mostly the short tracks this season, so
Nice.
and probably some road courses.
Love that, man. Hey, either way, awesome job right there. So we'll see you at whatever track you'll be at next. But obviously, as a Season 5 champion, it's kind of a nice victory lap, if you will, here tonight, having a good time and looking pretty good doing it. So, hey, man, shout out your sponsors and who you got, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, I gotta thank Battle Beaver, Bowie Esports, everybody that makes it happen there at the team. Obviously, you, Steve, for putting on the league. You and Emery as well as putting on the broadcast. You guys do a great job, and looking forward to this new season. A lot of great drivers out here. It's should be a good one.
Yes, sir. Awesome job, man. Appreciate it. We'll catch you next time, dude.
Yep. See you.
Alrighty, there he is, and Emery, man. That was one hell of a race. What are your thoughts about it?
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of fun. The heats were great. That final feature was a fantastic race to watch. A lot of Doran, a lot of battling. I think that sets the stage for the season, and obviously the field is set for next week at Daytona, and that's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait, man. If this is how the season's going to go, it's going to be a fantastic year.
Absolutely, yeah. This race from top to bottom, I thought was just a lot of fun. A lot of cool things going on, obviously, and the first of its kind here for us, you know, just doing something different. Bit of an icebreaker, ASRA Clash at Coliseum, and a lot of fun. So next week, folks, we're going to be at Daytona, the big one here for us, next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So come back and check us out. We do appreciate you for all the subs, the likes, the retweets, or the likes on our shorts, everything, all that kind of stuff. So we thank you all for that, and we will see you guys next week. Emery, been a good time, man. Glad to be back in the booth with you, and we're gonna kick this thing off right next week. So great job for you, and we'll see you guys next week. Have a good night.